Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sam Zagar. I'm going to tell you another somewhat body jumping story, but there's a couple of takeaways that made me want to record this video in the first place. And ultimately, I'm just going to tell you what it is and then you can listen to the story. But the primary takeaway is if you think that you have this kind of gift or can do this kind of work, if you think that you have the ability to get information from people, read people, what I think is extremely important to practice is sharing the information exactly the way that it comes through for you and not trying to do any processing or understanding without the awareness of the person that you're doing it for. So if I body jump someone, if I get inside them, if I read them, if I do what I do and I get a visual, I get a word, I get an impression of something, I take notes consistently throughout the jump. It's almost like I stare, watch the aura, and transcribe kind of. It's well, maybe it's a little bit spooky, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what it looks like. I try not to look at myself while I'm doing it. I hide my self view. Either way, when I am getting information from people, I do my best to write it down in the most matter of fact way that it came through for me. Now, it's awkward sometimes when I don't understand the imagery, and I also have some small judgments of my own about my ability where I will think, like, that didn't make sense, or that wasn't very profound, and because things don't necessarily mean something to me, it's harder to feel the value of what's happening or the significance, maybe, of what's happening. Now, I want to share that there is a manifestor who I have jumped twice now. So, part of what's really interesting is that this is a repeat person. So, they enjoyed their first experience with me enough that they came back for a second experience. Now, they were better prepared for the second experience. They were like, okay, I'm going to lay down, I'm going to close my eyes. Like, I've got my little bed set up. I'm ready, let's go. And they are obviously very prepared, very open, very recognizing of me. So, I find it easy to get inside this person and start to see things. Now, the visual that I got in what I'm going to talk about here came from the second jump. Now, when I say second jump, I mean each time I do a session, there are two jumps within it. There's an opening jump and a closing jump. So in theory, I would have jumped this manifestor 4 times. And on the fourth jump, the closing jump of the second session, things were quite visually different, and I will explain a little bit about what I saw, and then I will share with you what she reached out to me and shared with me afterwards. So I had this feeling to try and take her on a journey. We were meant to go down. We were meant to go inside. So I personally I haven't gone shamanic journeying into the underworld or lower worlds or whatever. And who knows if that's where I was going, but I had this feeling to like energetically walk with her and like a forest starts to form. But the feeling of it is like there's a canopy, there's moisture, there's dankness, there's freshness, there's a more cooling sensation that is pulling us in a certain direction. So let's say the normal world is like hot, stagnant, uncomfortable, summery, and you don't like it. You don't feel good in your skin that way, right? Couple of significant things I'm going to say here. You don't feel good in your skin that way. And so you feel this like cool, moist breeze kind of that like pulls you in a direction. So her and I, visually, energetically, whatever, we go in this direction down into the earth. Now, as I'm stepping down these kind of like dark, natural rock stones into the earth, things feel cooler, fresher, soothing, and we just keep going down until it opens a little bit into like an underground cave type area. Now, a lot of what will be talked about doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't make rational sense, but the laws of the regular rational world don't apply to these places as much. So within this like cave building that I'm in with her, there's an outer layer and there are trees growing in it, but there's no sunlight down there. So in theory, trees should not be growing down there, but it's not up to me to control this. It's my job to observe and give back to somebody. So I notice that the edge of where we are is very mossy, very treed, very lush, very alive, but then the middle of the place would be water, a cenote, a sinkhole, a pond. None of these words fit appropriately, but there is water. And there is just this consistent want to go into the water. Like all of the energy feels like it's pulling us down into this thing. Like she's meant to go be in this landscape, but she's meant to be submerged in it. And it's not like, she needs to go swim in the pond. Like it's not literal like that. It's whatever the feeling is here is what she needs. So when I think about her being submerged in it, I think about her body needing this everywhere. Like I want to encase her in this. I want to like rub like a gooey, calm, refreshing kind of. So then I'm like, what is it? Is it mud? Is it seaweed? Is it? And so seaweed. Okay, so like you can tell when you're going in the right direction of something. And so the yeses are there for like whatever the feeling of seaweed is. If you buy dried kombu and you get it wet, it's going to start to get like a gelatinous outer coating, very similar to what aloe does. I also wonder, like aloe, like I'm testing things in here and it's not aloe. That's not what is wanted. It's seaweed. But then I get a vibe of being like a little bit stagnant, a little bit dank. So then I start to think algae. Okay, so I write down for this person down, down, cool to the touch, seaweed, pine, algae. Like there's a whole thing we're going for. But the algae and the seaweed are the strongest of the feeling or the thing that she is meant to be soothed by. So you got to think that from my perspective, I put her in this place or I guide her to this place, but I still have this kind of like questioning guide perspective. Like, what is going on here? Why are we here? What am I supposed to tell her? So wrapping her in something cool, like, am I supposed to hear this as like she's dry, she's overheating, she's exhausted, she needs, to is it a manifestor anger thing? Like, does she need to cool off? Like, and I honestly try and almost cheapen it, make it less significant. And I'm terrified of doing that for people because I don't want to diminish, that's the word. I don't want to diminish any of the significance or any of the messaging. And so a lot of my job is like, so I give you the thing, I give you the visual, I give you the sensation, I give you as much as I get, but I don't know what you're going to do with it. Now, that's also a part of my innocence motivation, right? Like, I can give you the thing, but what you do with it is your business, right? You ultimately have to lead yourself with the information. You come to see me because I help translate, I find a new clue, I know how to open the door, things like that. Now, what I wanted to share is that she has reached out to me multiple times since both of the jumps, and she shares with me the synchronicities that come up. But what I thought was super cool was she recently went and had blood work done. And in the return on her blood work, she had a recommendation for an algae-based supplement because she's off kilter in one of her omegas. I'm thinking it's going to be an omega-3. But either way, her skin has been asking for this, but it's not about moisturizing from the outside. It's about moisturizing from the inside. And it's a marine-based supplement that she was recommended. So I think it's very cool that what I see is accurate, but you have to be careful in how you interpret it. And ultimately, I have to be very careful in how it's interpreted. In fact, I just have to be very careful that I don't try too hard to interpret it in the first place. It's a gift, ultimately, that I give to someone else, and they need to unwrap it. Oh, I like that. All right. That one felt good. On to the next one.